Have you ever done things you didn't want to do? Or have you been a good person and sometimes done bad things? If you have, or if there are people around you who have done it, the bad may be trapped in that body. I have researched for you 10 signs that the evil spirit is trapped in the body, and I explain these 10 signs to you while you subscribe to my channel and like my video. 1. Sudden mood swings. Do you know what it's like to have a great morning, only to have your spirits plummet over something as little as a barista misspelling your name on your coffee cup? You feel as if you've purchased no tickets on an emotional roller coaster. It might be more than just getting out of bed on the wrong side of the bed if you discover that your temper is more erratic than a rubber band stretched too far. These sudden, dramatic mood swings might be an indication that an evil entity is enjoying itself at your cost. Just imagine going from being completely chill 1 second to being as irritated as a grizzly roused from hibernation the next. It may be prudent to contemplate the impact of an invisible, bothersome spirit if these mood swings are occurring at the rate of a pancake during a hectic Sunday morning breakfast. 2. Unexplained physical symptoms. Have you ever suffered from a plethora of ailments that no doctor, no matter how meticulous, could ever put a name to? Picture this. You're seeing a series of specialists, but no matter where you go, no one seems to be able to put their finger on the problem. You've done everything from going through testing to trying different diets and even yoga, yet these perplexing symptoms persist. There may be supernatural factors at play if your medical issues are more weird and mysterious than a house season finale. Strange physical symptoms such as a sudden intense headache, unexplained back pain, or that persistent eerie shiver may really be signs of a spectral presence. There are groans and creaks that traditional medicine can't explain, as if your body were a haunted house. 3. Aversion to sacred places. There seems to be an unusual hesitancy to enter houses of religion as of late. It's more than simply opting out of going to church on Sundays or missing a temple visit every now and then. Imagine if you always had a long story to explain whenever you intended to visit a holy place, whether it was for a service or just to go by. Perhaps you experience nausea, vomiting, or excessive anxiety at the mere mention of entering a house of worship, whether it be a mosque, church, or synagogue. This dislike may go beyond just a lack of faith in the subject. There may be an esoteric force at work in your emotions if you feel queasy just thinking about walking on hallowed land, or if you develop a severe allergy to holy water. No, it's not just that you don't care about religious things. It's like some unseen power is actively trying to keep you away from these sacred places. 4. Strange addictions. Is it just me, or have you noticed a strange yearning for things other than food, like dirt, paper, or chalk? On the other hand, maybe you've developed an unhealthy obsession with collecting things that would make most people shudder, like spooky antique dolls or terrifying vintage medical equipment. This is more than simply having odd interests. They are obsessions that arise seemingly out of thin air and grip one with an uncommon ferocity. A lack of complete self-control might be the cause of your strange cravings for out-of-the-ordinary consumption, collecting, or hoarding habits. As if an invisible puppeteer were pulling your strings and leading your wants toward the strange and the macabre, picture yourself experiencing an overwhelming attraction to these peculiarities, a hint that an evil spirit is subtly influencing your actions suggests This could be more than a fleeting fad or an unusual preference. 5. Nightmares and sleep disturbances. Are you experiencing more nightmares than you can shake a stick at every night? It's not like having a nasty dream every now and then about wearing your pajamas to work. These nightmares are so real and frightening that they make you sweat. No matter how hard you try, you can't seem to get a good night's sleep. Maybe strange sounds startle you as you're about to fall asleep, or you get this unexplained feeling of terror that pulls you out of sleep just as you're about to drop off. These abnormalities may not be only psychological if they are becoming a nightly routine. Your unconscious mind can be in turmoil due to an unsettled spirit. When you can't go to sleep no matter what, it might make you feel anxious and drained, as if you're fighting invisible monsters in the dark of your own bedroom. If you find yourself anxious about going to bed and can't recall the last time you felt refreshed upon waking, you may want to investigate the possibility that something supernatural is tormenting you. 6. Electrical malfunctions. It seems like every time you enter a room, the lights start to fade or flicker. On the other hand, maybe your electrical gadgets have a tendency to malfunction. For example, your phone turning off while the battery is fully charged, your TV randomly changing stations, or your computer crashing for no apparent reason. There's more to it than a string of bad luck or an indication that your electronics need updating. These strange electrical malfunctions can indicate the presence of a supernatural force. Some people think that spirits may influence the physical world. If so, they might be interfering with the electromagnetic fields around you. This could show up as radio or communication device static, or mysterious interference with home equipment. If your house is acting like a haunted science fiction set due to all the dangling lights and broken electronics, you may want to investigate the possibility that a ghost is trying to communicate with you. Imagine an unseen, naughty houseguest who never figured out how to use today's technology correctly. 7. Unexplained shadows or figures. Have you ever seen a person or shadow dart barely out of sight, then turned around to see nothing? You can't dismiss it as a simple optical illusion. These enigmatic beings materialize and vanish seemingly out of thin air, often hovering just beyond your field of view. Maybe you're seeing figures that seem almost human as they linger in the corridor or peer over your shoulder from a far corner. Particularly disturbing are these encounters that take place in one's own home, the one location where one is meant to feel the most comfortable. When these things happen often, and you also feel cold or like someone is watching you, it could not just your mind playing tricks on you. Spirits or other supernatural beings may be attempting to communicate or just make themselves known if this is the case. Those who claim feeling paranormal presences often describe this kind of encounter, which might make you doubt your senses. 8. Hearing voices. Have you ever been in the frightening stillness of your own house and felt someone whisper your name behind you? Or maybe you overhear bits of conversations while you're alone on a lonely night. It's not as simple as a rustling tree branch or an old home creaking. Some examples of these auditory events are clearly audible voices, whispers, or even sudden urgent demands for attention that you cannot see coming from anywhere. There are a couple of things that may be going on here if you're having these auditory hallucinations on a regular basis. Either your home has become a spiritual mecca, or maybe you should cut down on your coffee use, particularly in the evenings. Even while the latter may make it hard to sleep and make you hypersensitive to sounds, you may be interacting with a spirit if reducing your coffee consumption does not alleviate the problem. Persistent, inexplicable noises like these may be fascinating and terrifying because they point to the possibility of extraterrestrial interference. 9. Animals reacting. Strangely, is anything out of the ordinary happening with your dogs at the moment? Perhaps your normally placid cat starts hissing or swiping at you as you get closer, or your dog won't stop barking in a seemingly vacant area. Animals aren't acting irrationally or experiencing a mood swing. Some believe that animals have a heightened sensitivity to energies and spirits that humans lack. They might be staring at nothing in particular, or they could be following an invisible object around the room. A pet may be picking up on paranormal or spiritual activity if it is often disturbed, shows signs of anxiety, or acts as if it is seeing or experiencing something unseen. Symptoms of this hypersensitivity might include excessive guarding, dread, or aggressiveness. If you see these changes in your animal friends, it might be an indication that they are going through some kind of trouble that we can't see or comprehend. 10. A feeling of being watched. Have you ever been totally alone and yet felt the chilling presence of an observer? This isn't a passing episode of paranoia. Rather, it is an enduring, unsettling sensation that remains even when no one is physically there. You may be at home, engrossed in a book or your computer. Then all of a sudden, there's this heavy electric force in the air. If you're paranoid about someone or anything watching your every step, you can find yourself constantly looking over your shoulder. This feeling might be much more unsettling when it happens in places you're used to feeling safe and secure, like your bedroom or living room. If you start to feel like someone is always watching you, it could not just be your imagination. It may be a sign of a ghostly watcher, a soul that is still in your home, subtly influencing events. After going through something like that, even your own house might start to seem strange and unsettling.